Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Is the French government bipolar? It has, in a minute, argues with Russia and tells Russia that they might send troops over there to fight the Russians or something. And then they say, you know what, we invite you to come to the D-Day celebrations. We don't want, you're not welcomed in Paris for the Olympics, dear Russians and Belarusians. But you know what? Maybe we can talk about certain things. Maybe, you come to the D-Day. What the fuck is this? Don't give me the good cop and the bad cop in the same person. That is bipolar. Now, my personal assessment of not inviting a country to the D-Day celebrations is idiotic, is childish. But this is the way these guys function. I don't like you. No, I don't like you. I don't like you, or I don't like what you're doing because I don't like, and I want you to change that. I want you to do what I want you to do because I'm in charge of you somehow. And how am I going to do that? Well, the punishments and rewards. I either punish you, sanctions, or maybe I'm not going to invite you to the party, to my child's birthday, like I give a fuck, right? Or I give you money if you do that. If you do that, I'm going to give you some money from the printing machine or from loans, I don't know, I will find some. So this is now France who welcomes Russia to D-Day anniversary. There are certain things that should be, I think, beyond the little current hanky-panky that occurs, between two countries. Or remember, France introduced itself in the equation of Ukraine, right? Was not invited. He just introduced himself, or maybe it was introduced by others. I think that's more accurate. Not like sent, but sometimes interests coincide. Sometimes you think you belong to a certain side, you think you belong, therefore you act accordingly. The problem is you get sometimes too deep and you can't get out. So let's say you commit a few crimes and say, I'm out. You can't get out. You can't get out. Remember when these guys say, okay, I'm a former, hitman, let's say. And I say, I'm done with this, man. I'm out of business. You can't. It's like certain things you can't. So the same, I think France is too deep in to get out. And as Putin said, and I think he's right in, I can remember, in an interview with Tucker Carlson, he said, I think the West knows it lost, but they don't know how to save face. But he said by not talking, they will not save face. They will save face by saying, we won, even though they lost. Because, it seems like things are upside down nowadays. Left is right, right is left, good is bad, bad is up is down, and all that. Love, peace is war, and vice versa. So, Russia Today, I have two articles. 16th of April 2024. France welcomes Russia to D-Day anniversary. President Vladimir Putin is not invited. You can come to my child's birthday. Fuck off. Remember, not only the Russian, not even the Russians say this. Evidence show this. Without the D-Day, let's say the D-Day never occurred, the Soviets, would have got to Berlin. Probably slower. But they would have gotten over there, of course, with the help of the other guys, right? Remember, the Soviets, the criminals, the communists, were allied with the countries of the good, with the capitalists. Remember, communism is a system that wants to kill capitalism. You understand? That's the enemy number one, is the capitalists, the profiteers, the capital. But they allied with them against another capitalist country. And the capitalist country had a problem with the communists. You understand? But the guys that were riding high in the communist were some that pum pim boom pum pum pum. We're gonna talk face to face about that issue. YouTube is the gatekeeper of the truth. So, according to the Russians, we didn't even care about it. And now the facts. Not even 10% of the Wehrmacht was located in the Western Front. And not good troops, by the way. They were all on the Eastern Front. against the Soviets. By the time the D-Day occurred, which occurred after Stalin asked 3 times before, do it, do it, do it. When they turned the tide and Stalingrad and started moving eastward, then these guys said, oh, and Stalin did not need that anymore. He did not need it because he knew he's going to go and he's going to fuck everything up. So these guys got scared and said, you know what? The communists now, which are the threat, are going to come and take over more than they are allowed. So let's meet them halfway. That's what they did. Like Poland was divided by the Nazis and the communists. Sounds familiar? Now you got the communists, the same communists, and the good countries. America, Great Britain. I'm not talking about France. But by the way, it's very interesting because obviously the Americans and whoever participated in the D-Day landing, without them, the war, they changed the war. Now, I know, and I'm not saying this to insult you guys, just say it. I heard that the Canadians think that without them, the Second World War would have not been won. They won the Second World War for us. And it's the same with the Americans with the D-Day. That saved the Second World War. And the Russians says, no, we saved. They all, without them, the Second World War, they wouldn't have won by this. And it's true. It was a collective effort. But you still know how much this guy pushed and how much that guy pushed. You know, in a team work, I never like working in a team like that. Where do you need, like in college? You know how much effort each of these guys put. And in the end, we get all the same grade. I dislike that. Why? Those guys died 20 millions. These guys died, I don't know, 300,000 people and say, well, oh, they were smarter. Anyway, let's go back here. So they don't want to invite Putin. Well, why would you invite Putin to, how should I put it, insult him? To try to put him down? Why would Russia go over there when Russia says no? Actually, the center should be in Moscow, 9th of May. That's the victory day or whatever. Not your debarkation, your landing. You got over there and that's it. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, it helped, but these guys make it so big because it's the way you make it, you know. Like the NATO will make it after they lose in Ukraine, they will make it like they won. Yeah, like the same thing, and I always revert to that, always. With Khrushchev and JFK, 1962 Cuban Missile Crisis. 1962, the same. Oh my God, it's we won. You didn't win. You took your fucking Jupiter missiles, nuclear missiles from Turkey. Exactly what Khrushchev wanted before he said, yeah, we're going to make you. Nah, I dare you. And they did. So who won? Anyway, I think we won because these idiots did not get deeper into this. A Russian delegation can join an international celebration marking 80 years since D-Day in France, but President Vladimir Putin is not welcome, the organizers announced on Tuesday. I don't think he gives a fuck. The Allied landing in Normandy, which opened a second front against Nazi Germany in Europe, will be commemorated on, I don't know, it's not commemorated, it should be commemorated when someone dies, but you can say, well, a lot of people died over there. Commemorated on June 6th. Earlier in the day, the radio station Europe 1 broke the news of the imminent French decision. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov told journalists that Moscow has received no official communications on the matter from Paris. President Putin took part in a ceremony at the 70th anniversary of the D-Day in 2014. Then even took place months after a Western-backed armed coup in Kiev prompted the then Ukrainian region of Crimea to break away and blah, blah, blah. Okay. According to Europe 1, France wants Moscow to have a lower-level representation at this year's event. Maybe I wouldn't even show up. The Soviet Union sustained the highest number of casualties among the Allied powers since World War II, losing more than 26 million people, most of whom were civilians. Western nations provided crucial supplies for Soviet work, correct, but joined the effort on the European continent only after the Red Army had forced Nazi Germany and allies into retreat. I think by the time, that's again what I read, when this landing occurred, the Soviet troops liberated the entire territory of the Soviet Union, moving west. So, anyway, And yeah, 26 million people, most of them were civilians. And I heard this argument, well, maybe you guys were inefficient and we were so good soldiers, that's why you died. Maybe, maybe not. Where's the evidence? Oh, no, those stories when the Russians were going like crazy, ooh, and they were killed, and the Polish guys with the swords, that kind of myth again. How many were over there going with on a horseback? Again, my friends, how can you go with a sword, with a horse? And the Kazakhs, the same thing. Kazakhs, I'm talking about the Second World War. And I'm not talking about the Kazakh regiment or whatever it was, battalion from the Germans. What was his name? That baron, the German baron who put together the Kazakhs. The Kazakhs! Kazakhs are not in Germany, by the way. Anyway, and not only Kazakh. He was a Kazakh because he was not. He was just, go and read about him. I can't remember his name. Mancham with M. Mancham Fera, Mancha. All right, anyway. So that's the first article. Let's go to the second article. Well, these guys are crying here. Ukrainska Pravda. France decides to invite Russia to anniversary of Allied landing in Normandy. So the same thing is here, but not with that. Now, what would you do if you were Russia? I would say, I'm not going to come over there as a second-class country. Fuck you. That's what I would say. What do you mean? You dictate how I'm, it's, we're going to allow you to come and talk, but don't talk about this, don't talk about it. So you don't want me to be me? Why do you invite me? Fuck off. Maybe you give me the subject, I'm going to talk about the subject, but you don't tell me what can I talk about the subject. You can come over there, but you can come and dance, but don't dance with Jane, Michelle, Gina, and whatever. You invite me to the party? Are they available? What the fuck? The same. I would not send anybody over there. No delegation. I mean, if everybody else invites and sends presidents or prime ministers or kings or whatever they are, I'm not going to send, I don't know, Maria Zakharova. She's banned too, I guess. So no, I would not. It's not you. It's like a parent who decides what the child does. Like the principal, like a teacher, like your boss. Really? Since when Russia should, oh yeah, and if Russia is a bitch, and they, we're invited, yes, we're accepted by the West. Stop that inferiority complex, if there is one. I've seen that where I come from. Oh, the West. Shh, don't upset the West. You know how you get taken in a strong organization? When you prove yourself. When you prove that you are someone. It's not gonna, you're not going to go to the back door. Can I come? Can I? No, let them beg you to come. Don't, I want to come. You're going to come as a second-class citizen. You want to do that? Well, if you don't respect yourself, go ahead. So I think Russia should not send anybody. Say, fuck you. What do you mean? Who do you think I am? The same. It's a garbage with the Olympics. Russians, but not the flag, not this, not that, not this. What are you talking about? Shouldn't even been talked about it. It's political, or you want to see who's the best in sports? What athletes? They have their own lives. They put politics over there. Garbage again. Mayor of Paris. Russian and Belarusian athletes are not welcome to Paris. Did you hear what's in the Seine, in the water? Too much poop. So they can't say we're going to sanitize the Seine, the Seine, whatever, the river that goes through Paris. They want to swim around there, but it's too much garbage in it. Civilized city, say you. Anyway, friends, but that's the least garbage that it's in Paris. That's something even worse than that. That is growing and is growing and is growing. And you know what's going to happen? It's going to take over. When it's going to take over, it's going to be the payback. You don't think so? Remember, studies. People who were abused, when they get the upper hand, tend to abuse more than the ones that were never abused. So be careful with equity thing, because the people that are pumped with stupid ideologies, they want to pay back. They want to pay back. And they will pay back, and they will aggress you. I'm going to give you one example. Haiti. It was what, 1806? Go and read about that. Haiti. What happened over there? A little payback. They massacred each and every French from Haiti. You may say, well, keep that as an example. Keep that in mind. And remember, the allies eventually will be eliminated. The last ones. They're going to be used. The allies. And I'm an ally with this cause. I'm an ally. Yeah, he's an ally. Once these guys get the upper hand and they take care of, how do you call that? Payback, reparations, and whatever. And take care of that. The last ones they're going to take care of is going to be the allies. You're going to say, yeah, but you were one of them. You'll see. I hope you don't. But if you don't wake up, you'll see. It's not going to happen while I'm alive, but I'm pretty sure while your kids are alive, if they're minor, it's going to happen. If these guys continue with this garbage, because those guys who live in gated communities right now, people with pitchforks and with torches will show up and they can't stop it. Why? Who's going to be in charge of the military? Who's going to be in charge of the repressive apparatus, police, and all that? Appointed by whom? By the same guys. Why? Name of equity. You'll see, motherfuckers, you'll see. I hope you don't. But anyway, by then I'll be long gone as dust. Don't worry. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Russia should not go. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.